So we're in the taxi on the way to the finals for the Great British Entrepreneur Awards. I've been nominated as a finalist for Young British Entrepreneur of the Year. And in this video, I'm going to share the exact secrets as to how it got here just 3 and a bit years after being a high school student. So, admittedly, it's been a little while since I recorded that first clip, but hey, if the suit still fits me, the advice is still worthy. This is going to be a blend of practical steps, characteristics, and achievements that help me reach that achievement and may help you if you want to do something similar. Let's dive into the first and unquestionably the most important, massive, and I mean massive, amounts of empathy. Empathy, simply put, means becoming utterly aware of another person's perspective and understanding their viewpoints and their emotions. And it's a universal skill, right? It doesn't matter if you're applying for a prestigious award, running for president, or maybe just trying to justify why you were late for work in the morning. Empathy is your tool to universal success. Let me make something clear, by the way. Empathy is not an agreement with somebody in any way. It's not compassion, it's not sympathy. It is understanding what is driving someone, understanding what they are feeling, and why they feel like that. It's understanding their rules without actually adopting them. And that works on the flip side too, right? That means regardless or not whether you feel or believe something is true, it can sometimes be a better idea not to enforce that belief of truth upon someone else. So how do you use empathy? How do you apply it? Well, let me break it down into 3 easy-to-follow steps and give you an example. The first one's going to be objective observation, right? Begin by mentally stepping back to adopt the role of kind of like a third-party observer who has no vested interest in the outcome. And you're about to create 2 lists in your mind, right? One's going to be representing your views, interests, and objectives, and the other list's going to be the same, but of the other person. That's really going to require mental exercise, right? You really need to momentarily set aside your own personal biases and consider both sides equally. That is how you gain a comprehensive understanding of what each party values and what each party seeks to achieve. Second step is going to be giving that list in your head some substance, right? Using the who, what, why approach. Who you are and who they are. So that's going to be your background, your story, your values compared to that of the other person, what your goals are and what their goals are, what your ambitions and achievements are, and what you bring to the table versus what the other person can offer. Then you need to understand what it is that they want. What's the reason that you're both engaged in this conversation or this interaction together? How did this come about for them? How did it come about for you? And finally, why did it come about? Why is it important to you? Why is it important to them? Who does it mean more to? Who has more on the line? Why is it a risk for the person with more on the line? So that's your formula for step 2. Who they are. What do they want? Why do they want it? And now finally, armed with a deep understanding of both perspectives, you can adapt your language in a way that's going to resonate with them. And you can craft a real empathetic response or action next step, right? So how do we use this in the context of an award application? Well, objective observation, first of all, right? What does the applicant want? To win, of course. But why? Well, it's going to be good for their status. It will build their credibility. They think that they're worthy of winning. What does the judge want? The judge, of course, at face value wants to pick the right person, sure. But what does the right person actually look like to the judge? This is what real empathetic thinking is about, because it's not always going to be the person who actually deserves to win that will win it. You have to consider that it's another person that's reading this application. So even if you do have the best business, the business making the most money, the business that's grown in the fastest period of time, if you're super egotistical in your application, you're not going to be selected. If you're robotic and boring, you're not going to be selected either. If you challenge their beliefs, you won't be selected. If you intimidate and maybe scare them that you might be better than them, then you won't be selected, right? They may even subconsciously try to block you getting even more success, and they're going to, using cognitive bias, find reasons not to select you. Does that make sense? So dig deeper. Understand all of the real reasons driving and motivating people, not just what they display on the outside, not just what they're meant to do. But think about it. Who's the judge? Right? Well, for an entrepreneur, probably someone in business themselves who's worked hard to get to where they are now. Someone who has faced big challenges to get to where they are. So considering all of that and more, you can create your empathetic application, which tells a story about your journey, which explains your struggles, shows your gratitude, right? Really bring in this storybook and character, because that's what people love. Look all around you. There are billions of pounds made every single year because storybooks and characters sell so well. So create your own story around yourself. Be the character that the judges love and let them buy into you. The second step that allowed me to become a finalist for Young British Entrepreneur of the Year is what I call an addiction to client satisfaction. Now look, client satisfaction is one of these, woo-woo bullshit things everybody says that they care about, but actions speak louder than words. In my own agency, Mod Digital, we have created a real ethos of radical obsession with bringing our clients the best results possible. We have unquestionably got one of the best client retention percentages in the industry, and there is a reason for that. The previous step on empathy is the critical tool in all of this, right? Because client satisfaction comes in so many different forms. A lot of people think that good results equals client satisfaction, but that's not necessarily the case. How reachable are you? Can customers get answers to their questions quickly? Can you answer questions that they haven't even asked yet before they need to ask them? Do you help, right? Do you provide help beyond what you've promised? I watched the Jeff Bezos documentary when I was 17, and there was so much. It really, really opened my eyes to customer obsession. Like, Jeff Bezos used to do this thing where in every meeting, he would bring in an extra chair to represent the customer. The whole team was to pretend the customer was sitting there. And the idea of that was to say things you would be comfortable with a customer hearing, right? And try and consider what their perspective would be if they were sat listening. And I found a great video of him which encapsulates the ethos of this idea and shows you how you can apply it yourself.
Get the question, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And that is an interesting question. It's a very common one. I almost never get the question, what's not going to change in the next 10 years? And I submit to you that second question is actually the more important of the two, because you can build a business strategy around the things that are stable in time. And so as you pointed out, in our retail business, we know that customers want low price. And I know that's going to be true 10 years from now. They want fast delivery. They want vast selection. It's impossible to imagine a future 10 years from now where a customer comes up to me and says, Jeff, I love Amazon. I just wish the prices were a little higher. You know how I love Amazon. I just wish you delivered a little more slowly. Impossible. And so the effort that we put into those things, spinning those things up, we know the energy we put into it today will still be paying dividends for our customers 10 years from now.
It's no secret that exceptional case studies and stellar reviews can be the biggest superpower in growing your business, right? Social proof is a concept of psychology that's, I think it's been working since the caveman era. So if you want to tap into that superpower, take the Jeff Bezos approach and ask yourself, what is impossible to imagine your customers no longer wanting in 10 years from now? And then work backwards from that answer to build that into your business. This gave me exceptional case studies and proof that showed the judges not only my sales and growth, but also the success that I was demonstrating and able to show that I was making an impact and helping other businesses in the process. However, let me lead into my next point with a very bold and audacious belief. Right, there's a lot of business owners that say customers are number one, and I say I'm customer obsessed because I don't think customers are number one. I disagree, and I shake my head when I hear people say that. Because when you say that, what you're really communicating to your people is that they're not number one. These are the people that are going to be providing the service, the people doing the work for the customers, and you're telling them, you're not number one to me. And I think this step is arguably more important than the prior one because in order to deliver great customer satisfaction, at least at scale, unless you're doing it by yourself, right? You're going to need other people working with you who also want to deliver great customer satisfaction. And let me tell you, disinterested people deliver disinterested service. And therefore, step 3 is that your team must always come first. Right? You got to take care of them. They are the bedrock of your company. They are your base. They are the producer of results. So you take care of your employees and they'll take care of your customers, and you get your customers taken care of, then you're going to do a great job for them and you're going to be able to drive your profit and growth through the roof. Profits and growth are really a byproduct of getting the people satisfied. And I could talk for hours about, leadership, team management. In fact, if you do want to hear that, join my community. But let's write a successful team culture in one sentence. I've got your back and you've got mine. Step 4 is simple, obvious, but easily the key factor in all of this. If you want to become a finalist or win an award, it probably makes sense to apply for it. Yet the number of people who wish they could win something, think they deserve something, but don't apply is huge. And if that's you, you've only got yourself to blame for not winning. The biggest accomplishments of my life, whether it be 6-figure contracts, dating my beautiful girlfriend, or becoming the finalist for this award, none of this would be achievable without putting myself in the position to achieve it. It's age-old, but it's a timeless truth. If you want to achieve anything in life, you've got to go out and ask for it. I think if you told yourself that you're worthy of whatever the hell it is that you say that you're worthy of, that is only true when you actually go out and pursue it, because that is the declaration that you actually believe in your value and your impact and your potential, right? And yes, look, rejection is of course a possibility, but so is success. If you don't put yourself in that position, right, you have no possibilities, but instead you have a guarantee of getting nothing. So let's keep this short and sweet. If you believe that you are worthy of something, go and get it. And last but of course not least, we have step 5, giving back and paying it forward. Entrepreneurs, we have a bit of a reputation as potentially greedy individuals. We're condemned for a love for fast cars, expensive food and luxury. And sure, of course, there's a line of reasonability. I won't rule that out. But entrepreneurs are also the superheroes of an economy, right? They create jobs for their communities, they innovate, they create new life-changing technologies, and something I strive to emulate from the greats is to give back, build community, and facilitate the growth of others. That's the reason I started the X Lounge. The X Lounge is a free global platform for entrepreneurs and marketers to network, level up their skills, and evolve into top 1% individuals. We've helped hundreds of individuals reach newfound clarity in their journey. We've turned distracted souls into catalysts of productivity, and we've helped forge huge numbers in revenue and growth for our members. And none of them have ever had to pay for it. So when I explained this and our vision, I shared that with the judges. You can only imagine the delight on their faces, the final domino to fall in my application. These 5 pivotal steps not only shaped my path to becoming a young entrepreneur finalist, but have also fundamentally transformed how I approach both life and business. Massive empathy, unwavering dedication to client satisfaction, prioritizing my team and supporters above everyone else, seizing opportunities by stepping forward and creating them, and of course, the importance of giving back and fostering community growth. Now, if you've made it this far, first off, thank you. It means the world to me that you're here engaging with this content, and your support, it really fuels this channel and the community that we're building together. But more than just thanking you, I want to invite you into the conversation. Which of these steps resonated with you the most, right? Do you have a step of your own that you would maybe like to add? Something that's been a real game changer in your journey? Drop your thoughts and insights in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the X Lounge, our free global platform for entrepreneurs and marketers, a space created for you to network, enhance your skills, and step into the top 1% of achievers. The link is below, and I can't wait to see you there.